A warm welcome back to Spectacle Island for episode 11 with me, Mr. Sealy P. I'm starting off today's episode as I started off the last episode, dealing with field 3. I said I was going to plant, we're going to put sunflowers in it, so I'm just topping up my seed. We've got a few jobs to do again today. Primarily it's going to be the sugar beet. Now I'm not going to do anything particularly different with regards to harvesting it. I'm going to lease the sugar beet harvester. It's what I'm going to do with it afterwards that might be a little bit different. And that could all change in the next week or so anyway, but I want to have a go with it. That will become clearer later on. Once I've got this going, I'm going to get a worker going, put in the sunflower in. I'm trying to do all the around the edges, headlands, borders, however you want to refer to them. And we're going to move grass down to the hayloft at the milk sheep. Then what we're going to do, cows are all sorted, they're fed and watered. We're good to go with them. No, not that one. That one. So yeah, it's primarily sugar beet I want to get done. But like I say, we're going to do something a little bit different. I'm probably going to lease, just for a little while, a forklift truck maybe down at the docks for what I'm going to be doing. Got sunflower set, haven't I? I have. Let's get going. Excellent stuff. Yeah, so hopefully, and this is not set in stone, hopefully the update for Spectacle Island will be submitted, I can't remember, did you say this week or next week? As soon as you possibly can anyway. There's a couple of file things he needs to add, then it'll be submitted, and there's a whole raft of changes in the update. But well, as I mentioned before, what he has tried to do is make sure no new save game is required, so pretty handy. And then what else was I thinking? Nope, mine's gone blank. It's all good. I've been scouring through, checking different places for any more information on FS22 from Giants, as at the time of recording this bit there's nothing new to report. The mod situation is I might message Lars actually and ask him. I'm assuming that the situation now is, although in my head and most people's, I suppose, we're now what, 5 months away from release, potentially, depending on when it releases. You think, well, 5 months is ages, and for me making videos, and you know, you think, well, 5 months, wow, you know, that's quite a while. But for a game developer, 5 months is nothing. Because they've got, I would imagine at this point it's that kind of, you think, yeah, we've got everything dialed in, we've got everything sorted out, everything's looking good. Then you start going down this thing and, okay, this needs to be done, that needs to be done. That's barring any issues, any glitches, any problems, anything that comes up that then has to be, you know, sorted out before release. They don't want to push back release, nobody does. Sometimes it's inevitable, sometimes it has to happen, and I think that's why they put Q4. If it's ready for release in October, we could get it October. As I said before, historically, new games from Giants release in November, but if they have problems they could push it back to December, would still be Q4. So what I'm thinking with regard to mods, I'll come back to what I was talking about. Last week we had mods Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, then nothing Thursday, Friday. So I'm wondering whether or not they've got the dev team or part of the dev team still doing mod support and working on mods Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Then Thursday, Friday, the dev team is solely dedicated to FS22. Or it could just be there's no mods. But I know a few people that have submitted updates and or mods, so I know there are some knocking around. But again, we're at that point where I personally think it. I probably have mentioned. I can't remember who I've talked to about it. That they announced the release too early, maybe. Because I know for modders, they've got to look now at learning whatever new coding is going to be required, whatever different skills, whatever things they've got to add or not add, or whatever they need to do for modding on the new game, whatever that may entail. But that people have started saying, well, okay, you know, there's not really much point making mods for FS22 FS19 anymore, because the new one's coming out soon. Again, my argument to that is no, it's 5 months away. That's 5 months of gameplay. Now you might be bored of the game, you might not be playing it as much as you did before, but it's still 5 months. That's a lot of game time. And there's still some cool stuff. There's cool maps out there. And for me, as I've said many times before, it's just the being able to relax, and you know, this is one of those games you can just put on and just say. If you've watched any number of my videos, you'll probably be going, yeah, really? I remember on such and such an episode where you got quite cross about, you know, yeah, I mean, sometimes things happen that are frustrating, things go wrong. I haven't really experienced many game crashes, a couple here and there, things that disappear, things that get deleted, you know, sometimes there's a bit of frustration, but generally speaking, you know, there are games you put on that are just frantic, bonkers, 90 miles an hour, you know, trying to keep up, and you come off of a game like that feeling absolutely frazzled, whereas something like this is supposed to be a bit more relaxing. So, worker will be hired. We'll get the rest of the sunflower sorted on here. I'm going to jump over onto our lorry. We'll get the grass moved over to the hayloft. Then we'll head down to the docks and we'll sort out what we're going to do next. I'll lease the beet harvester. Hopefully, it's a fairly small field for a beet harvester. Rather than getting a trailed one, I'm going to get a full blown. Even if it costs me like 20 odd grand, we'll do it. And as I mentioned in the last episode about cutting the grass on field 7, I'm going to cut the grass on field 7 this time, all of it, so it's going to be 500 or 1,000 litres. We'll go to the biogas plant. That will be sold at the biogas plant, so that will be cash in our pocket, rather than using it for other things for the time being. We should be alright for a cycle or two with regard to feed and that kind of thing, hopefully. So what we'll do now, I've been around a couple of times, we should have a nice turning zone. We should be backing up when it's on the ground. Off we go. At the hayloft. If I press L3 now, nothing will happen. I need to open the cover. L3, we want grass. I'm not going to go full 120,000 litres, we'll do 100,000, that will leave 133 here. This will just be split between the sheep. That's going to last quite a while, so like I say, I haven't got to worry about the grass on field 7 at the moment being needed for anything else. That said, I'm going to need hay for making more total mix ration for the cows at some point, so fairly soon. We're okay for a while for total mix ration, we should be alright. And if they're full, that's going to last us... I always get it around the wrong way. 10 days now? It was 6 days in FS17, wasn't it? FS17. 10 days now, unless you play with seasons on, in which case it's only a couple of days worth of feed, isn't it? That'll do. Cover on. We'll get this down. And turn around enough. There we go. It's a long trailer, this one. A lot of swinging around. There we go. So on my way over, we'll kind of discuss what my plan is for the sugar beet. Sugar beet, we're going to need a load of it. It's going to depend quite heavily on the first few runs with the sugar beet harvester, how much we're getting. If it's very high yield, which is normally high yielding anyway, sugar beet, we'll keep a load for the pigs because we're going to need a load. But I can always plant potatoes or something else again on a smaller plot, or the same plot again if I wanted to. But what I want to do is the boat sell station you can access with the barge that we haven't been over to yet. does take potatoes and sugar beet. Now I know when Jim originally set it all up, potatoes you can palletise. There's that the Grimme, it's a palletiser, it's the conveyor belt kind of hopper, and if you put pallets next to it, it will fill them up with potatoes, but I don't think that does sugar beet. However, there are, from, again, I think it's quite Hitman, there are reusable pallets that will take everything. So what I was thinking of doing was grabbing a load of those, filling up my step deck trailer with those pallets. Now it might get a little bit laggy, that's going to be something interesting, because I haven't really tested that on PlayStation 5, the lagginess situation. Right, let's open that. Let's put our grass in. So that means now with the bucket and stuff we should be able to just feed them whenever we need to, clean them out whenever we need to, move pallets when we need to, because I've got the little skid steer loader down here. That's fantastic. I'm going to leave the trailer here for the time being, but I'll take the lorry cab, because we are going to need that at the docks. I was thinking about trying to record this in one fluid motion, but I don't think that's going to work. Only because, yeah, loading of those pallets up is going to be a little bit tricky. So that's the plan. So a load of it will go into storage. I think... Oh, that's a point. Does the silo take sugar beet? I didn't even think to check that. Ooh, hang on. Garage. Oh, it's not on here, is it? As an item that we can sell. So it's actually part of the... We may need an extension. Didn't even consider that. We'd always just put a big sugar beet pile somewhere and use the wheel loader or something. Now, this is a bit of a... Because at the moment I'm thinking, yeah, this should work. Why won't this work? It may not. In my head it should, but it could be a problem. If it is a problem and it doesn't work, we'll swing back around to it at a later date. Ooh. I don't want to go mad with them. We'll just do like I say a full load. It depends what a full load is. Problem is whether I've got enough money to lease everything I need to lease, because we need, firstly, no, under that, Beats technology. I've used ropers quite a lot recently. I haven't really used the Holmers for a little while. So I think we're going to go for the T440. That is quite pricey. 45,000 litre tank capacity though. 25 grand, yeah, it's not cheap, but let's lease that. As far as the header goes, I think we've got a HR12. There we go, that's nice. 5.4 metre. We'll lease that. Oh, our money is going down, isn't it? Now, under pallets, we've got these reusable bulk pallet. See, both of those, so they take everything. That's 2,200, that's a 4,500 litre bulk pallet. I think I might go with those. It's less to load up onto the trailer as well. So I'm going to buy them, I'm going to lease them. We'll do them clear so we can see. Leasing cost, oh no, you can only buy them. Can't lease them. There's a leasing cost, but how many do I get? I think that's 8. Did I actually buy them? And then the other thing I want to do is let's lease. Just so I'm using something with forks for a change and not always the big bag handler from the CSZ pack. Let's lease that. What we'll do, we'll drive this up onto the deck, we'll load it up. I'll move the sugar beet harvester first, and then we'll get on with that. So we get the sugar beet harvest done. Oh, they're down here, some of them. I obviously filled up the deck Oh, we'll go up. Seems daft walking up there. If I can pull this forward of here. I have bought the big bagler, the big bag, what is the matter? Like the hamburglar, I don't know what happened there. The big bag handler from the CSZ pack. I have bought one for the wheel loader because I may need that later on. This will just be driven up as is. I should really have a header trailer for the header because it's quite wide, but there's not really any traffic on the island, so we should be alright. The problem being, when you hook up to it and it's like that, that's fine, but if you fold it, what are we doing? If you fold it and then go in cab, yeah, visibility pretty poor. So realistically, no, you wouldn't. You'd have it on a header trailer, but this should make fairly light work of the field we've got. But sugar beet and potatoes always. I don't know why they still surprise me. You know, you do a field and you think, oh, I've done way too many. Then you look at the field and think, oh, the field's tiny. And then you start doing it and think, whoa, okay, we're getting way more off this than I thought we were going to get. We want... We'll load those up first. When was the last time we used a forklift? Greenwich Valley? That last time? Again, this is another one of those jobs. Sometimes it works really well. Everything is brilliant and it loads up and you're very happy. Other times it's an absolute disaster and nothing works how you hoped. Right, down, step forward a bit. Try and get central. Why does this not want to go in? There we go. Still not. That's odd. This is why forks, I'm not a big fan, because they don't always work. The physics of them can be a little bit hit and miss here and there, but I bought too many. Oh no, we should be alright, because I've got the front bit as well. I suppose I could put them on. That was a weird angle. Is the trailer moving away from me? These actually are quite big, aren't they? Farm dog's having another one of his days. He seems to have them a lot, but he's having another one of his days. You know how he gets. Let's try that. If we just need to approach it at speed, that's all. If we approach it at speed, everything's absolutely rosy. Yeah, if we put 6 on the back deck and then 2 on the front one, we should be right, shouldn't we? Of course! What could possibly go wrong? I don't know. Bit of my usual Mr. CP shenanigans. Come on. Back out, there we go. So we should get, it's not going to be a massive amount of sugar beet we're going to be putting on here, but I'm just thinking what we can do, again, hopefully, if we leave these on the trailer, I'll just bring the sugar beet harvester alongside and unload into these on the trailer. Then we'll take them down to the barge, put them on the barge and take the barge up and try and sell them. They should sell directly at the side. Again, if it doesn't work, not a problem, I'll just bring them back and we'll go again. If any of you guys out there have already been trying to sell stuff up there at the sell point, and you may already be shouting at the screen and saying it doesn't work, or it does work, or yeah, it's brilliant, or, yeah. But it's another reason I wanted to give it a go. It still kind of, not fascinates me, but it's interesting when I get messages or comments of people saying, oh, you haven't got very far through the game, or, you know, I put up a video and people say, well, I know this already, you know, I worked this out after how many hours of gameplay. And for me, yeah, absolutely, if I was just playing the game, any game, whichever one it is, if I wasn't recording and editing and posting and, you know, I'm doing multiple games, you know, if I do some snow running, if I do some gold rush, if I do this, then yeah, I guess if I was just sitting playing the game and I sat and played for a day for 8-10 hours without having to stop and edit and post and that kind of thing, I could get a lot further through games a lot quicker, I suppose. Do this nice and gently so I don't puncture the whatever it is. Is it perspex? I'm not quite sure. It'll just be a plastic, won't it? Not perspex, I'm talking about too brittle. It'd be some kind of plastic. Anyway, right, you don't need to see me load the rest of this. You get the idea. In theory, it's a good idea. We shall see. All large reusable pallets have been put onto the step deck loader bed trailer. I did buy 2 more, just I couldn't lease them, so I put 2 more there. So we've actually got 10 on board. At 4,500 litres each, that should give me 45,000 litres, which is the full capacity of the Terra T440. I've also got the International, which I didn't get rid of, which also has a capacity of 45,000 litres. Luck or design? No, it was luck. I didn't arrange that. That didn't work out. It just happened. So we're on to our sugar beet. Hopefully we get a load. That's kind of the plan. And why are we bothering? Right, let's open that up. Money is low. The next step then, when I load it onto the step deck, onto the pallets, is going to be to take it down to the barge. Now I could, well, we'll worry about it in a minute. There's a couple of ways I can do it, and I'm not really too sure at the moment. I'm not sure the best way of going about it. But I could just drive the lorry on to the barge, or at least put the trailer on, or unload the pallets individually. I could start off by trying to do it with the trailer, and if I go over to the sell point and it won't take them, then potentially coming back, unloading the pallets. Yeah, we'll see. I'm hoping it'll kind of work. I'm just hoping it'll work. Full stop. Hang on a minute. I thought I'd changed that. What's happened here? I thought I put steering mode onto turn steering. Could have sworn I had. Okay. Yep, we're going to get loads. That's good. So even if the first load of 45,000, if it goes off and we take it to the sell point by barge and it sells and it's all good, that is just the proof of concept. It's not to make me a fortune or anything like that. I just want to try it out. And why not? A few times we've had the BT boys when they come to help us out. I normally use ropers, I think. That's their manufacturer of choice. I really am hoping in FS22 we get the more modern, or the modern versions of all these bits. Maybe some larger gear, larger processing. I mean, don't get me wrong, 45,000 litres sugar beet, that's a huge amount. These, when you see these things up close in real life, they are absolutely colossal. But there was some incredible potato harvesting gear and stuff I saw at Agro, and that was 2 years ago. Come up on 2 years ago. That was just mind-bogglingly big. Why can't I speak to them? And I'm going the right way around, you noticed? I always go the wrong way in the harvester normally. Loads. We have plenty for the pigs as well, which is great. Of all the feed, I think the pigs, the makeup of the pigs' feed is only 5% of it, I think, is root crop, isn't it? Something like that. So having a load of extra is great. I mean, what I can do, I suppose, is take it all, put it in. Oh, yeah, as I say, I haven't checked about the storage, have I? Did the silo take sugar beet? I'm pretty sure it was just standard root crop, standard crop types, wasn't it? That's not bad. In 45,000 litres, and I haven't even done a full second rotation around the field. Done. Pipe out. So what we'll do, I could bring the lorry to it, but I just want to be careful how I go about this. I'm not sure how well it's going to work, if it's going to work. These containers are designed to take anything, so there's absolutely no reason at all why it won't load up, but might just be as simple as driving the lorry. Underneath, let's see, shall we? Actually, know what we'll do. That's awful. Oh. Oh yeah, hang on. We had some movement there. We had some movement. This is going to work. It's going to work. It would work if I wasn't driving like an idiot. Beat box. Not quite human beat box, but which one's it filling up? I can't quite make out. I don't think it can decide either, can it? Am I too far away? Is that what it is? I don't know what's happening. Come on. First one worked fine. I think I might have gone too far away from it, have I? There we go. Out there. It is working. Oh yes. That's brilliant. A bit further. There we go. Just finding the sweet spot, that's all. So I want to find the razor and lower that. I wonder why it's not doing the one. There we go. Love it. These boxes by Quiet Hitman are just brilliant. Oh, that's interesting. I am more than pleased with that. I don't know if one of these boxes isn't quite full, so we might have to just double check that. I'll have to come away from it a little bit. No, have I just miscalculated really badly here? Yep, that one wasn't quite full. I did think that. Well, who'd thought? It's amazing. One last one to go. And it's empty. Perfect. Hold that away. So what I'm going to do now is we'll carry on. So I was so engrossed in what I was doing, just loving every minute of it. Just trying to get the angles right. Once you work out where they are for the first time, after that it's a piece of cake. So I'm going to carry on with this, load up the international. Like I said, this may end up being a massive sugar beet pile until we can sort something else out. Because I don't have enough money to buy a multi-fruit silo extension or anything like that at the moment. I'm trying to think, did the main silo hold main root crop types and root crops or not? we'll sort it. See you in a minute. Let's get some more of this done. We'll try and work out storage, then we'll get down to the barge. While the worker continues, off to the docks we go. I'm thinking about maybe there was a couple of silos available. I don't necessarily need a multi-fruit silo, but there were ones that were for sugar beet and potato, like a silage clamp with tyres around it that I could put down. We've got the big open area over there, and possibly even in the gap here, because at the moment it's just on the floor. There's 90,000 litres of sugar beet there. Now comes the next challenge. Do we load these on loose, or do we just back the trailer on? Because I think this is too long to put on with the lorry as well. But then I'm worried about it getting part way over and the trailer falling off or something awful happening to it. And do I have the skill and dexterity to back that onto that barge? That's the question. I had I had one of those really bad moments. I can't believe I'm going to admit to this. Where terrible. I came down here to the barge. I'm thinking, right, okay, bring the wheel loader down, sort out loading up, and the barge wasn't under the crane derrick thing. What is... Okay. I'm turning too soon. I'm panicking and thinking it's going to be too sharp, and it's not. It needs to be. There we go. And it wasn't there. And I'm thinking, okay, where's the barge gone? Then I thought, did I leave it over at the sawmill? No, still not doing it. This is awful. Luckily, this will not be an issue for much longer. And so I went over to the sawmill. I checked it again. I checked over there. It wasn't there. And I'm thinking, okay, this is ridiculous. It has to be somewhere because I know I used it. And I don't know what suddenly made me look over in this direction. I looked and thought, oh yeah, you put it there, didn't you, you buffoon? You even built the little bridge going to it. We got there in the end. Look, I don't know. Can I get the whole lorry on? This is so dodgy. And will it take it from the barge, or will it? I just. Oh yeah, I think I can. You know. Oh, this is crazy stuff. But if this works, seriously cool. Right, what did I do with it? I don't know if this is going to work. What do I need to strap down? The cab, maybe? Whoops. Will it let me? I can't remember where the straps are. Is that going to do it there? Maybe. This could be awful. This is the point where it catapults everything. You know what I'm going to do at this point? Save the game. Oh no! It's strapped right over everything. It strapped the pallets down as well. Now that is cool. Why am I so pleased with this? How are we off of fuel? We should be alright for a return journey. Oh man. This is brilliant. A bit of argy-bargy. That's what I should have called it. Cruise control on. Let's cruise. So, we're up there. Let's go and see this sell point. Now, I'm hoping, assuming that we'll get to it, and it will either do the automatic dispense, it will recognise the barge and just take anything that's on it, or it'll be an L3 and then unload, or... Oh man, so cool. Sorry, just enjoying it. Just enjoying the view. Oh no, I've just realised I was looking at the wrong thing. I was looking at maintenance and not fuel. Oh no, please tell me don't run out. That'll be great, won't it? Just stranded out there. At least I sold my sugar beet. It is a bit further to go this way than it is that way to the sawmill, so now I am a little bit fractious, to say the least. I suppose I'm just thinking, would it be possible, if I can't get all the way back, to just bring it up alongside the dock over there and bring a fuel tank to it? But does it take diesel or petrol? I would say diesel. So, as the facility comes into view, what are your predictions? I just don't know at this point. Actually, the fuel's not going down as quickly as I thought it would. Oh, I don't know, maybe it is. I have to be as efficient as I can be here. I want to stop, turn off the engine. I don't want this running any longer than it needs to be. Episode is containing mild peril and stress. There's me saying about how relaxing the game is, and I love it for that. Okay. Nothing else. L3. Nothing. Does it need to be on the deck of the barge to register? No. No. Maybe it does, you know. There was me being a smarty pants. Okay then. I was just trying to save myself time. Let's see if we can get back without running out of fuel. Oh, this is such a risk now, isn't it? Because if I decide to go all the way back and then don't make it, I'm stuck. That's it. We're done. Because you can't get the barge back. Oh, man. Right, I'll see you in a bit. Looks like we have to unload it. And we'll load it all on manually with the wheel loader onto the deck of the barge. And what I'll also do is I'll put it more on the right hand side so it's closer to the sail point. Maybe that's what it is. It needs to recognise it on the barge rather than on a trailer on the barge, maybe. No. We'll see. That's all I can do. Well, I couldn't have cut it much closer with the fuel going back. I reached that point of no return where I thought, I can't go back now. I can't go back to any point where I could potentially refuel with the tanker. I've got to keep going. And I honestly thought, if it stops like feet away from the dock. But anyway, so next moment of truth then. Will this work from the deck of the barge? It's supposed to. If it doesn't, Jim, message me and tell me what I'm doing wrong. I tried to put it all over on the right hand side as well. Or left as I was going onto it, but right hand side for me. There we go. We're unloading. That's all it was. Had to be on the deck. Got lights on it, right? You got lights on this? No. Oh, yes. Now that's an experience I haven't had on FS19 ever. I've never sold from the deck of a barge. And now I am. And it's brilliant. Thank you, Jim. Again, something so satisfying about that. I don't know why. I don't know what it is. But that's brilliant. Could I have brought it over here by lorry? Could I take it to another sale point by lorry? Of course I could. But how many times have I done that before? It was time to do something different. And that was brilliant. Now I have got the sugar beet harvesting is done, and sitting on the floor in the yard is 152,586 litres of sugar beet. So I'm considering do another load, use the wheel loader and bucket, fill all these up, or a conveyor belt, and do this run again. Because in all honesty, once the little bridge thing was made and I can drive on with the wheel loader, but even if you haven't, you can load this up with a telehandler at the normal barge dock. If you've got a telehandler with an extendable boom, or you just put it onto the front, then the next one goes on behind it and just push it along the deck. So it doesn't have to be particularly extendable. You can do it all from one end and just slide it all along, and then away you go. It's there was no glitching, there was no jostling, there was no frame rate drop, there was nothing. That just worked really, really well. I'm so pleased with that. And we've got plenty of fuel to get back. That's good. I think it only cost me 15, was it 59 euros? I think it was to fill it up. So it's all good. I'm happy with that. That was my job for today. Sugar beet. Wanted to get the sugar beet off the field. Oh yeah, storage I need to look at. But I don't think I've got anything installed for that, so I'll have to have a look around and see what's available. We'll get something in. And then yeah, I need to fertilise and plough field 2 because it's had sugar beet in. It needs to be, does need to be ploughed, doesn't it? We've just come from there, going back to there. Yep, needs ploughing. We'll get on with that. As far as these go, they're both ready to harvest. That has just got sunflower in it. We've got barley, we've got soybean, which means more straw swath. Oh yeah, I need to cut the grass on field 7. I keep talking about it and haven't got around to it. But anyway, I think for today, I've got a load of home-related tasks and admin that need to be done, some chores that need sorting out. So that'll be it for today's episode. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, please give us a like. If you don't subscribe yet, please do. If you want to leave a comment, feel free. And if you want to share this video, then please be my guest, whatever you should choose to do. Thanks for watching.